When do you eat expensive food just for the status? I don't like ketchup on my steak. I never have. I never will. However, I grew up working my family restaurants, and every now and then, we'd get a customer who put ketchup on their steaks. Inevitably, other customers would make fun of them, mock them, call them uncultured, etc. The thing to understand is, we ran a basic greasy spoon restaurant, burgers and fries. My grandma was a fantastic cook and also made delicious homemade pies, cooked many meals from scratch, made her own gravy, etc. While most of the stuff on our menus were delicious, the steaks were not. The steaks sucked. We didn't even want to sell steaks. We didn't have the space to store fresh steak meat, so we had to keep them frozen. So why did we sell steaks? Because some people insisted on having steak. Almost all of them did so purely for the flex and to let everyone else know how rich they were. So to stop them complaining about us not having steak, we had steak. Basic, cheap-ass blade steaks. Frozen. Cooked on a restaurant grill. We put no extra effort into making the steaks because we knew they sucked. We even tried to discourage selling steaks by making the prices exorbitantly high. For example, we charged 3 times more for steak and eggs than we did for pea meal. But the braggarts and egomaniacs would still order the crappy steaks just so they could rub their wealth in other people's noses. In retrospect, I think jacking up the prices just made the braggarts even happier. There's a certain hum to a diner when the breakfast rush hits, cutlery tapping, the grill's steady sizzle, sugar packets ripping like tiny paper fireworks. I grew up inside that soundtrack. I could flip a smash burger and answer the phone with my elbow, refill 4 coffees in one pass, and tell when the oil needed changing by smell alone. Grandma ran the back like a ship's galley, never missing a beat. Biscuit dough turned under her palms, cinnamon and butter blooming in the oven, gravy thickening in a battered pot that had outlived 2 managers and 1 marriage. People came for all that. Nobody came for steak. Still, the show-offs ordered it. They leaned back on the stools like petty oil barons, announce it just loud enough for neighboring tables to hear, steak and eggs, medium rare, then glance around to make sure the sentence landed. There was always one of them. In our place, his name was Carl. Carl was the kind of regular who thinks regular means deputy owner. He'd roll in with a watch big enough to count moon phases and take the end stool like it was a throne. Always steak and eggs, always a side of smug. He didn't just eat it, he made a point of narrating the experience. If someone near him ordered oatmeal, he'd smirk. Fueling up the tractor? If a college kid got pancakes, the menu's training wheels. He lived to draw a class line with a knife and a fork. Grandma tolerated him the way an oak tolerates a woodpecker, annoyed but unbothered. She measured people by how they treated the server with the sore wrist, the dishwasher with the shy smile, the kid training on his first terrified Saturday. By that metric, Carl never made varsity. Then there were the newcomers, the ones who didn't know our steak was a frozen pity purchase designed to keep peace with people like Carl. I had a script for them. When someone asked for steak, I'd lean in and speak low, confessional, the way you warn a friend about the bad movie you already paid for. Everything on the menu? Solid. The steak? Not our strong suit. Frozen blade does what it does. If you want meat, pea meal's the move. 9 times out of 10, they'd pivot. Eggs and pea meal. Or the skillet with the crispy hash browns that made grown men tear up. 1 out of 10 would shrug and take the gamble. That morning, the one that lives in my head rent-free, was a 1 out of 10 morning. He came in midweek, a guy with road dust on his jacket and the soft, relieved look of someone who's finally found coffee. Sat at the front counter near the sugar caddies, nodded hello to the old-timers playing crib in the corner, and ordered steak and eggs like he was asking for tap water. I gave him the warning. He laughed, said he'd risk it. "Call me Dave," he added like we'd met before. I dropped the chit on the wheel, called it back to Grandma, got the look, got the sigh,